going to begin and then it's going to start. अभी रख दिया वापस. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the Amrita Devi Foundation talk show, Stories That Matter. My name is Mayank Ahuja and I'll be your host today. Our topic today is workplace well-being more than just a trend. The subject has moved far beyond beanbags and mindfulness apps. It's all about how organizations create a culture where people feel safe, valued, and inspired to do their work. And we have our special guest today, Ms. Simran, with us, who's a strategic, results-driven HR professional driving impactful human capital initiatives across startups and large enterprises. Welcome to the show, Ms. Simran.
Thank you so much, Mr. Mayank. Thank you so much for inviting me on this forum to Amrita Devi Foundation as well. I am so glad I can be here and part of this discussion and share my opinion and experiences.
That will be great. Before we start,
I am Amrita Country Head of Amrita Devi Foundation. We believe that empowerment begins with opportunity. Our mission is to equip women and youth with skills, restore our environment and uplift the communities. Through education, employment and environmental action, we are building a self-reliant and sustainable future.
सोशल मीडिया अकाउंट को हैंडल करना, उसमें किस तरीके से एक स्टार्टअप बिजनेस को हम ग्रो कर सकते हैं, वो चीज़ें, सॉफ्ट स्किल्स एंड पर्सनल स्पीक इन पब्लिक, सो मेनी थिंग्स वी आर लर्निंग फ्रॉम. एंड आई लाइक टू थैंक अमृता देवी फाउंडेशन जिन्होंने महिलाओं के एजुकेशन के लिए, उनके स्किल्स डेवलपमेंट के लिए इतना सराहनीय योगदान दिया है.
सबसे पहले मैं अमृता देवी फाउंडेशन का बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करना चाहती हूँ. फिर मैं गोविंद सिंह नेगी जी का भी बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद करना चाहती हूँ, जिन्होंने हमें 6 महीने फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट सिलाई सीखने का मौका दिया, जिससे अब हम अच्छे से सिलाई सीखकर अपने खुद के कपड़े और आस-पास पड़ोस रिश्तेदारों के कपड़े सिलकर बेनिफिट कमा पा रहे हैं.
When women grows, communities flourish. Our training programs are designed to bridge the gap between education and employability, ensuring every woman and girl can stand on her own feet with pride.
आज के दिन। तो एक जो सपना देखा गया था उसे आप एक शेप में होते हुए देख सकते हैं।
के साथ रिखाणी गांव जो कि अल्मोड़ा में स्थित है वहां पे पहुंचा। अमृता देवी अर्थ केयर की तरफ से जो कार्य पर्यावरण के लिए किया जा रहा है उसका एक जायजा हमने यहाँ पे लिया। मुझे ऐसा लगा कि एक ऐसा काम कर रहे हैं कि जो सिर्फ पर्यावरण के साथ साथ जो यहाँ के रहने वाले हैं उनको भी इकोनॉमिकली सपोर्ट करें। ये जो मेरे पीछे आप देख रहे हैं ये एक चंदन का वृक्ष है। कभी सोचा नहीं होगा कि चंदन के वृक्ष उत्तराखंड में भी इस तरह से लगाए जा सकते हैं, बट ये जो मुहिम चलाई है जहाँ लोगों को एक दिशा दी गई है कि चंदन के पेड़ लगाएं, पर्यावरण की तरफ है ही जो सपोर्ट उसमें मिलेगा, बट इकोनॉमिकली ऑल्सो इट विल हेल्प द पीपल दोज हु आर रिसाइडिंग इन दिस एरिया।
मेरा नाम सुनीता मेहता है, मैं ग्राम रिखाणी से हूँ और हमें आज अमृता देवी फाउंडेशन द्वारा धुआं रहित चूल्हे मिले। हम इनका प्रयोग करेंगे तो हमें धुआं नहीं लगेगा और जिससे हमारा स्वास्थ्य ठीक रहेगा। अमृता देवी फाउंडेशन का धन्यवाद करती हूँ जिन्होंने हमें धुआं रहित चूल्हे दिए।
Our work being recognized by the leading organizations. We have been awarded as the Best NGO in 2021 by the GNE Awards, and our commitment to excellence has earned us the Incredible Workplaces Gold certification. Our partnership with ICO India Services Private Limited, Express IT, Sharp, and other leading organizations continue to strengthen our impact. So, together we can build a future where every woman is skilled, every tree is nurtured, and every life is transformed. Be a part of this change. Visit our website, follow us on social media, and join hands with Amrita Devi Foundation today.
Excellent video. Such a great video to see of Amrita Devi Foundation and how they are contributing. So, Miss Simran, let's start with the questions. I hope you're ready.
Yes, of course. Please go ahead.
Great. So, workplace. So, what does workplace well-being truly mean to you beyond just health benefits or yoga sessions, which we generally see? And if it will be great if you can just give an example from your own experience.
Sure. So, workplace well-being, I think for me, like you said, is not just the standard practices that companies follow, right? It is building the right culture, environment, and people where people are, happy, they feel supported, respected, valued. And, it's not just taking mark only one thing. It's a mix of a lot of different aspects like emotional, mental, physical, social, all of this come into play. So emotional, like how you're feeling working in an organization, and you think like the organization gives you an open space to voice out your opinions. And mentally, if you have manageable workload, there's no burnout, no sign of stress or anxiety at work. Physical, to have an active lifestyle, to take regular breaks while working. And social would be if you connect with the people around you, like the colleagues at work, and you feel like a sense of belongingness at work. So all of this put together is what workplace well-being truly means for me. Building a culture wherein people not just survive but thrive. So that's what workplace well-being is all about.
Very nice, Ms. Simran. It is really good to know that HR people and of course corporate people use the language wherein we have we say that there has to be manageable workload, and of course there are different kind of well-beings when we talk about emotional well-being also, social well-being also, financial well-being also. Though in the current scenario when we see that there's a cutthroat competition in the market, it looks a little difficult, but yes, it is good that we are talking about it and some conversations are going about it and we are moving into that direction.
Of course,
That's
yeah. The right direction is important, correct.
Great. So that brings me to the second question. So what do you think that workplace well-being is becoming such a priority for organizations today?
So see, workplace well-being was always important, and organization realized it. But there are two things why it is, becoming a priority. One is because so after the pandemic hit us, there are a lot of conversations that go around mental health, mental well-being. We see mental health from a different lens now. The pandemic has kind of brought in those discussions about mental fatigue, and how it is important, how emotional well-being should be taken care of. And the second point would be that now people are very open to talk about all of these topics in social media platforms or professional platforms like LinkedIn. So a lot of awareness is there now around all of these things. If you see like people going to apply for jobs in different organizations, they do check the Glassdoor reviews, they do check what is the culture of the organization, what people have to say about it, what are the pros, cons, good things, bad things, is the leadership good, so they do check all of those things. So the companies realize that now people are more aware. So, in order to attract and retain the right talent, they need to make this a priority. So, I think the people are aware about it. That's why organizations are also focusing more towards it now.
That's fantastic. That's fantastic. So it means it is coming up as a thing which is becoming mandatory. As you
Yeah.
said that people are joining before even joining an organization, they are checking the rating of the employer whether, and that becomes a decisive factor also for them whether they have to join the organization or not.
Definitely, because in Glassdoor and all of these forums, people openly post reviews, talk about the culture, the leadership, and everything. So before joining, they make it a point to check, all of these.
And very rightly said, you said that, I mean, we can see these things, some glimpse of this, or maybe openly people are talking about, or maybe posting articles on LinkedIn as well. That is a
Yeah.
professional platform. So it is definitely coming on the surface. So do you think that it is a more of a reactive thing, or it is just seeing as a proactive, or are seeing as a proactive strategies?
So in these platforms, they are talking about the advantages and the disadvantages, both of the things, right? So there are good things also going around, and there are few other things, cons also going around.
Right. Great. So I'll tell you that still, if when we once we go to office, once we sit maybe at times cafeteria or in general discussion, that maybe on the coffee break when people talk about it. So many people still feel that these initiatives are just a feel good trend. What's your take on that mindset? Because people are still feeling that they in their break they are talking about it, and how can we shift that perception among the skeptics?
Right. So, well, it is not a feel good trend, like it's an outdated mindset, I would say, that if they feel that it is a feel good trend because it actually makes a difference. It is not a tick mark that you just click, but it is workplace well being is actually a foundation strategy that drives productive workforces. So, if you seriously invest into them, you will see that there is reduced absenteeism. People will take less time off because they'll be happy working, they'll focus more on their work. You'll attract, like I said, better talent, and your retention rates would go up. And your if you're in a good mental health space, you have good working habits, then your creativity will increase, your innovation will increase. So it will definitely going to benefit the overall working of an organizations. And if you ignore these, then definitely there's going to be high burnout, there's going to be high turnover, diminished performance. So it is not, I think, a feel good trend. It is not a good to have thing, workplace well-being, but a must have thing. And I think how it can shift is by, so people have different opinions on this, because the kind of culture they work in, that really impacts their thinking. So if they work in good organization where they value workplace well-being like in a serious manner, then I think their thought process will also change, because different companies have different cultures. So this can be person specific, to be honest.
Right, right. As you said that it is not a good to have thing, it is a must have thing. So
Yes, it is.
right. So of course, reduced absenteeism, focus once we have these things in the organization, they'll have more focus on their work. Also, people will have. But on all these things require a lot of investment, and the investment, the decision of the investment lies in the leadership. So, what do you think that how can leadership play a stronger role in shaping a culture of well-being?
Yeah. So I think in corporate, everything is a top-down approach, right? So leadership plays a very, very, very crucial role in shaping the culture of an organization. Right now, it is important to know what the leadership thinks about workplace well-being. Because again, for me, workplace well-being can be different. For you, it can be different. The meaning of it can be different. So if a leadership level, people think that it is just giving gym membership, yoga once in a while, or getting everyone covered in mental insurance, medical insurance, right? If it is just about that, then they would act in a, act in that manner. But if they feel that it has a deeper meaning, right? If they know that workplace well-being means to have open communications with people, to value their feedback, act on it, to understand that breaks are important on a daily basis. Also, to take vacation days is also very important. To take that time off to disconnect and go revive, rejuvenate, come back. And if the leadership thinks that there should be a focus on work life balance, and there should be set working hours, there should be set time dedicated to your personal things as well, and there is manageable workload in the entire company, nobody's feeling stress or anxious while working, they are loving the culture, they are feeling happy. And yes, so it depends on how the leadership actually thinks about workplace well-being. Okay, that really impacts the overall functioning of the organization. So if they truly know what this means, then it is, again, as I said, a top-down approach. They start acting that way. The multiple levels below will follow the same context set by the leadership level. So yes, they do play a huge role.
You're right. They play a huge role. Of course, once they we get their buy-in. Of course, apart from the gym membership, there can be, of course, open communication. They if they understand that, of course, it is important to take breaks. So there will be policies around that. There will be
Correct.
policies around vacation days and work-life balance, of course. But these days, there's another word that is coming up, and that is work-life integration. Because people are generally, it's not that it is difficult for at least Indians in India to switch off their professional mindset and just switch on to personal, and then once they reach office, it is they switch off their personal thing. So it is a little difficult. So again, some work life integration is going on. But
Correct.
as I said that some time back, it is a cutthroat competition is there in the market. So even leadership also is under that pressure only. So what happens when leaders themselves neglect their own well-being? Because it is good that we are talking about it. Maybe they can make their policies around the well-being, but many a times we see that leaders themselves neglect their own well-being. How do you see this impact their teams?
uh, Again, this has an impact, like I said in the last answer, that if they think that just the standard practices is workplace well-being and it is good enough practice, then their approach would be similar, right? If they think that it is okay to work for long hours, skipping meals, not taking breaks, they would gradually have the same kind of expectation from the team, right? And in my opinion, it is not right to have the same expectation, because the kind of stake one has in a company, that is the kind of effort they put in, right? So in fact, the leaders also sometimes do not realize that, they are not working in a healthy state. Their reactions and actions are also sometimes depend like different because of this, because they always work in such a high pressure environment that they might get, pissed off at little things, and they don't leave room for errors for their team, get, really angry at times. And so again, that it affects the team they are working with. So you know they are also again in a high pressure environment, and they also don't realize it, that this is not a healthy way to go about it. But because they do it that way, they expect their team also to act accordingly. And ultimately, in the long run, what happens is they lose the top talent, and a lot of effort goes into hiring replacements. This effort could be better utilized in taking company to another level, working in different new projects, and for the betterment of the organization. These efforts could be utilized, but yes, due to not having the right workplace well-being and neglected leadership, these challenges do come into play.
Right, right. This clearly means what you are saying is that leaders have to walk the talk. If they also do the same thing, if they also don't take breaks, skip meals, they start skipping meals, and they get angry at times on their own people, maybe irrationally. So of course, the team will also do that because they are looking up to them, and that is the culture that they are setting. So of course,
Yes,
so once they are talking about the well-being of the organization, they themselves have to adapt this thing, and then only it will go down.
definitely. Yeah.
Very rightly said, Miss Simran. So, moving forward, what's the difference between the perks? Perks, like there are different facilities that we give in the organization, like bean bags or food bowls or maybe coffee machines, uh,
Hmm.
10 kinds of coffees and 10 kinds of types of teas, and the true well-being practices.
Yeah. So perks are just surface level comforts, I would say, right? It can maybe boost your mood briefly. You can feel good for maybe an hour or so, but they don't have, or they don't cater to deeper needs of the people. um, so if I ask a person, if a person, I give a team a breakout room with a lot of snacks and, like you said, 10 different kind of coffees. If they are struggling with unimaginable workload, or I would say to find the right balance in work commitments and personal commitments, these 10 different kind of coffees and snacks would not mean anything to them. It would not make any difference to them, because this is just uplifting their mood for the time being, but not solving the crucial challenges they are dealing with at the moment. So I have highlighted what actually true well-being is. So there is just like a huge difference between these perks and true well-being. The sprinkles and the icing on the cake do not hold any importance. It's actually the cake, which is holds the significance, the layers in the cake, the taste of it. So yes, these are all just surface level things, perks. They don't mean anything, in my opinion.
Great, great. I think I have to look for someone whose birthday is today so that I can just get some cake, because you just talked about cake and I thought
Yeah,
of eating it.
I mean, if somebody has not had breakfast, then cake is kind of like an appealing thing for them right now.
Right. So of course, very rightly said that these perks will not make any difference if some they're facing employees are facing some burnout, or they are emotionally not uh, fit at that point in time. So these kind of things are not going to help at all. Of course, surface level things. Very rightly said, Miss. So can you share an example of a meaningful and well-driven initiative that had a deep impact? Maybe your own personal experience. Maybe you have seen in some other organizations.
Yes. So there are many examples that I can share, having set working hours, right? Uh, like there is a no meeting or zone after 7:30 when you finish up your work. Okay, you give people time off on weekends, post office hours to unplug and revive. Checking the pulse of the organization in target groups, see where there is a signs of burnout or disengagement, and catering to that accordingly. One, I think, initiative that my current company follows is great. So Zeno has this healthy happy zen channel, in which what we do is, when they started off, there were lesser engagement there. um, we motivate people to actually do some kind of physical activity during the day, and it can be half an hour or 45 minutes, doesn't matter. It has to be a set amount of set hours. No, it can be for half an hour as well. Any physical activity, you can go to the gym, you can do pilates, you can do yoga, anything. So we've kind of created that channel to encourage and motivate people to do something, some physical activity, because we all know the benefits, that it is proven that it improves our mental clarity, mental well-being. It gives us mental clarity. It reduces health risks, and it has many more benefits. So initially we had like 3-4 people sending in their pictures, their gym pictures, or their workout, the app notifications that they get, that they worked out for 45 minutes, they burned so many calories and worked so many steps and whatever. And initially they saw the increase in people posting about it. So which so ultimately we were happy that people in their personal lives are giving some kind of time to physical activity, because that is important, especially in this hybrid and remote work culture where we just sit on our desk and we just work. It is very important to take those kind of regular breaks, get up from your chair, go do something, take 10 minutes break, then come back, sit and work again. So that kind of, we knew that it is important, so we made that channel, encouraged people, told them that it is very important, and like they saw people doing it, they picked it up. Maybe they're not posting, but we know that many people picked up from this. They did get motivated and they did start something. For an instance, I got to I got influence, and I said, okay, I would also start something, because yes, this is important.
That's great. That's great. So, of course, as you talked about few of the things like no meetings after 7, I've seen in various organizations wherein this happen.
Yeah.
It's really good to know that your organization is doing something. Of course, it generally happens wherein initiative is being taken, but people take it initially, they are pretty clueless, then later on at times they pick. Just hold on. Yes. So moving forward, so of course, I'm very happy that you are also being benefited by your own policy launched by your own department, that is HR. So that's pretty nice. Great. So of course, you talked about the remote working also, and there also these things happen. So how has remote and hybrid work changed the well-being conversation? Are companies adapting fast enough at this point in time?
I think yes. Organizations do see that there is a change due to the remote and hybrid work culture that has come into place now. Okay, of course, with pandemic and everything, we got into this, and companies do realize that they have to, adapt to this change and kind of work accordingly. But I think the challenge they face right now is that. They can't find the right balance. So when we have this remote and hybrid culture, we have flexible working hours, we have autonomy, work-life balance, we promote all of those things, but few people can also take advantage of these, good things that we are bringing into place. So it is very important to have the right people in the organization who have the right mindset, who are mature enough to understand that these policies are for their betterment and they don't misutilize it. People who are career driven hustlers, they have the right approach and they do not misuse any kind of policies that we make for their benefit. So like I did face this in, again, Zeno, the place I work in. So they have unlimited leave policy, right? So the people can take time off whenever they want, and there's no we have no capping to it. And I haven't seen one single person take advantage of this fact, and ignoring the responsibilities and just going on a break because there is the companies offering unlimited leave period. So it is the kind of people you have in it, they should be mature enough to understand that their ownership does not go away because the company has put this policy into action. They realize that they have to own up their own tasks, but they can take time off whenever they want. The company is not putting any limits to it. So I think the challenges that most companies are facing is to find the right balance.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. So this means that, of course, as you were saying, that we need some smart heads or maybe matured heads. Once we are giving these kind of benefits to them, because there are many people, or maybe some percentage of people, they tend to misuse the advantages, or maybe take the wrong advantage of those things. The advantage, of course, they have to take it, but I mean, misuse is not required. And of course, over here, the role of talent acquisition and HR comes into the picture, so that they become the right gatekeeper, so that right people come into the organization. And then, of course, once they are into the organizations, they are the ones who keep the culture going on. They keep reminding them through various ways.
Absolutely right, Mayank. The right talent has to be taken into place because they keep the culture going. If we don't hire the right talent, then it is like make or break thing.
Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. So, Simran, so many things we talked about. Let's talk about your thing also. So, what does your personal well-being routine look like? How do you practice your preach? What you preach?
Yes. So I do not have like an audacious goals in terms of my well-being. In the past couple of years, I have kind of have had an unhealthy way of working. Like I used to work for extended period of time, not have any skipping meals, skipping breakfast, lunch, and it's not like I didn't have the right leadership. I mean, I literally had managers used to sit on call with me and tell me, it's 1 o'clock, you've not had your breakfast, go and do it, bring it here, have it right in front of us. If you want, we are just discussing something, it's fine. But no, I don't know what kind of a workaholic I was back then, but I used to skip meals and just work for 10 to 12 hours straight. And it took some time for me to realize that that is not how you should work, and in long term I'm going to face a lot of physical and mental burnout if I keep going in this way. So now I have very simple goals. What I do is that I have focus hours during the day. I take frequent breaks in middle of my work, and I plan my entire week. I plan my entire day, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, how it is going to look like. I set the focus for the entire week and deliver on it. Me and my manager have that discussion, what is the agenda for the week, and then we start working towards it. I do not skip any meals. I have 3 meals a day. I unplug after 7:30. If there are scenarios wherein I have to wait, work till 9:30. That is fine on some days, but mostly I unplug 7:30. Weekends are also time to just relax and get back to work on Monday itself. So yes, I try and do something, like I said, with that healthy happens in all initiative going on. Now I try and do something, a kind of physical activity during my day. So even in the morning, I try and wake up early, do something physical. I don't want that my morning starts with a cup of coffee and my laptop. That is not how it should be. And my evening ends with, again, my laptop and the dinner. So I try and wake up early, do some kind of physical. Even if I don't feel like going to the gym, I help with making breakfast. I clean up my room. So things like that, which gives you some time before starting your work. So these are very simple things that I follow to keep my well-being in check.
That's excellent. This clearly means that you're following the basics. So as of now, it's no flowery things, but then of course the good part you're saying that you're not skipping meals, you're focused hours, you take frequent breaks, weeks are planned ahead. So it is all, I think, the path of success. So success in terms of profession also, and success in terms of in your personal well-being also, and on your for your personal journey as well. So that's a very, very nice thing.
Like I
So it's
have
good.
had
I think it is quite inspirational. Please tell me.
yes. So I was saying that I've had a deuterated lifestyle. So for me, this simple is giving me kind of a relaxation in my mind that I'm going in the right direction. I will reach there.
It is difficult. It is definitely difficult to be simple. So you're doing it. So it is quite inspiring, as I said, and hats off to you for that.
Thank you.
Great. So one last question: what one piece of advice would you give to the organizations starting their well-being journey?
So the organization that are starting their own well-being journey, I would, the advice that I would give them is, don't just follow trends, like whatever goes around in the market, whatever you see somebody posting on LinkedIn or any professional platform. Just don't start doing or following the same things in your company. Listen to your people. See what is a deal breaker for them. If what are the things that they value, they need, what is the need of the hour, and then accordingly, make or drive initiatives or make policies to it. Now for that, you can also take a closer look at the demographics of the organization. Right now, what is the average age of the people working in the company? So a person who's in their 20s, a person who is in their 40s, their well-being needs are going to be very different. Okay, so you have to see where does your majority people lie in the demography scale. What is the average age? If it is 20s, then for them, learning, exposure, mental health support, social connect, things are important. If they're in the 40s, then these there is a shift. Healthcare would be important for you, flexible benefit, flexible working hours to manage their work and their personal commitments. That would be something that they would really appreciate. So plan your workplace well-being in such a manner which caters to the demography of the organization. So don't just follow whatever is there out there, like what other companies are doing.
That's right. So instead of just following the trends that are happening around, we just have to focus on our own things. Every organization, of course, they have to see their average age, where the 20s or 40s or whatever it can be. I mean, you have very rightly said that we need to see that what is their deal breaker. So once we spot over there, I think things will be better. Once we diagnose the challenge, then we'll have the proper cure also for that.
Exactly, yes.
So
I
that's
didn't.
nice. That's nice, Miss Simran. So any extra thing that you would want to say to our viewers?
Well, I to all the people who are watching, I genuinely, I genuinely think that my experience or my learnings would help you better in your work place. And maybe if you're, an HR professional or just working in the leadership level, you kind of think about it, makes you think about what does actually workplace well-being mean, and how we can take some initiatives that make a difference, because in the long run you will definitely see results. This is not just something that you can do to post about, but it caters to the deeper level of problem that runs in the company, and your productivity, your engagement, everything will rise if you have this in place.
Absolutely correct. workplace well-being starts with your own well-being. So you have to take care of that. Of course, all the people who are our audience, they have to take care of their well-being, and of course, they have to put that in their organizations as well. They have to propose to the management. If the management people are watching it, they should see to it that they implement these things. They walk the talk. And then of course the organizations are going to be more successful. We have to move towards that. Still, there are people are talking about different working hours, maybe much more working hours than they are happening as of now. But then of course we need to see that it is not only about the working hours, it is about the productivity. And once people are regenerated, they will give better results and better productivity.
Definitely. Yes, rightly said.
That's great. That's great. So thank you so much, Ms. Simran, for your time and incredible insights. Today's discussion, I would say, clearly showed that the workplace well-being is not a luxury anymore. It is a necessity. It is not a side of conversation. It's a core business strategy. If implemented, it will be great for the organizations. And it's definitely just not a trend, as you said. It's the future of how we build resilient, high-performing, and human-oriented workplace. So I would like to thank everyone who joined us today. Thank you. Let's continue this conversation in our teams, in our boardrooms, and most importantly, in our actions. So thank you so much, Ms. Simran, for coming to the show and for enlightening all of us.
Thank you so much, Mayank, for having me over. Thank you.
Great. Bye.
Bye. Have a good day, everyone. Thank you. Bye. Take care.
Bye.